Today I'm showing you how to install a Tusk UTV full glass windshield on your Yamaha Wolverine RMAX 1000. It's going to be the same process for the 2-seaters and the 4-seaters. And with these, you're getting full coverage in the front. It's made from super durable laminated safety auto glass, so it's going to stay looking good for a long time. It doesn't scratch up like a plexiglass windshield would. And then you also have vents in this, and that way if it's a hot day outside and you need some airflow to come in the cab and cool you off, you can simply open those up. So with all that said, let's go ahead and get started. To get started, we have everything laid out on our bench. Now you're either going to want to have a blanket to prevent scratching your windshield, or for us, we've got 2 blocks of wood. And we've gone ahead and laid out the hardware. We've made sure everything is there. We've compared it to the instructions. So the next step is to prep the windshield to get it ready to put onto our machine. So we're going to start with the bulb seal. And with this, you have 2 different sizes of bulb seal. So this longer piece, that's going to go across the bottom. And the longer piece is a 90-degree bulb seal. So you want the seal itself, if you have your windshield laying down like this, you want the bulb seal facing down. So if the windshield is on the machine, that seal is going to face in towards the cab. Now to install this, we're just going to press that groove in across the bottom. And if it fits loose at any point, you can simply pinch this together, and that's going to give you a tighter fit. And if your thumb gets tired, you can use a soft face mallet to tap this in place. You can see we have a little bit of extra on the end, so we're going to use our side cutters and trim that off. Now the shorter piece of bulb seal will go across the top, and we're just going to go from corner to corner. And as you put this in place, it's going to roll right onto that bend. You can see this one has a little bit extra length as well, so I'm going to trim that down. Next, we have the 2 16-inch foam strips that are going to go inside of the vent doors. So all you need to do is remove the backing from the foam tape, and you're going to stick it along the inside edge of each vent door. Now I've gone ahead and flipped the windshield back over, so we're working on the inside of it. And in the top corners, we're going to install the 4-inch foam strips. So I've removed the backing. We're just going to follow this line coming down. Next, I'm going to install the vent door brackets. Now, the instructions do show this in a later process, but it's going to be easier for us to show you at the bench. You can do it now, or you can do it on your machine later. But in either case, what you want to do is take vent bracket A. Now, you've got a left and a right side. So again, this is the inside of the windshield. This is the one that should be on your left or driver's side of the machine. We've got the M6x16 millimeter button head bolt. We're going to put 2 up through the bottom right there, or through the front of the windshield. Just going to hold those in place with my fingers, set vent bracket A in place. Then we've got the nylock nuts on the back side. We're going to leave the hardware loose until we have everything installed. And then for vent bracket B, you want it in this orientation. And again, we have 2 of the same bolts and nylock nuts on the back side. Now for vent bracket C, we're going to install that onto vent bracket B first. We've got the hook at the top facing the inside of the machine, or towards the center of the windshield, and it's going to sit on the outside of vent bracket B. And again, we've got the M6x16 millimeter button head bolt. We've got a nylock nut on the inside. And then for the adjustable part, we've got the hand knob. Then the friction washer is going to go between vent bracket C and vent bracket A. Then we'll thread the knob into bracket A. And we're just using a 4mm Allen on the front side of this, and then 10mm combo wrench on the back. We'll get them just tight enough where we can adjust things up, and then we'll tighten everything down. And the pivot, you want to get that to where it lightly seats, and then back it off about 1/4 of a turn. And that way you don't have any friction here, and it can pivot freely. And then with everything tightened down, you just want to verify that everything works correctly. So I'm going to loosen up the hand knob, make sure it opens all the way and closes all the way. And then we're going to do those same steps on the other side. The next step is to install our windshield wiper. So we're going to start out by removing this plastic plug. You can press in on the 2 tabs, or you can use some pliers to help you do that. Now we're going to install the mount. So we need to remove this piece from the handle. So you've got the small nut on the end, and then the mount itself slides right off. And you only need to remove one of these bigger nuts from there. You're going to remove a washer and grommet as well. And I usually like to start with the nut to where it's going to be pretty centered up in this windshield. So I'm going to leave it right where it's at. And I'm just going to install this into the hole that we removed that plug from. We've got the grommet, the washer, and the nut on the back side. And I'm just going to use a couple 19mm wrenches to snug that up. Doesn't have to be crazy tight. You're just crushing down those grommets a little bit. And if you don't have two 19s, you can use an adjustable wrench on that other side. Next, we're going to prep the windshield wiper. So first, you've got the wiper itself. It's got two tabs on each side. You'll press in on those to pop that cover up. Then we've got the arm. We're going to go through the cover and hook that on. And you can reinstall your cover. Then you have a cover for your mount. You're going to flip that up. We've got the handle. This is going to go through the back side. And when I install this, I try to line up the handle with the arm. And then you've got splines on that handle. You're just going to line those up with the splines in the wiper arm. We're going to press that into place. And then we've got that smaller nut that's going to go on the end. We'll snug it down. Then just make sure the cover's in place, and we're going to head over to the machine. So at the machine, we need to prep this to install the windshield. The first thing we're going to do is remove the back side of the clamps holding the front of the roof in place. So that's going to be 6 bolts, and we're using a 10mm socket. The next thing to prep is the gussets on each side. So you'll notice you have 4 holes going across here. These 2 middle ones, we're going to use a 1/4" drill bit to widen those out. Just make sure you go through both sides of that gusset. And we'll do those same steps on both sides. To set the windshield in place, I'm going to have a friend help me carry it over to the machine. And we're going to make sure we slide the top in first. There's a little lip under the roof. You want to make sure you get under that and then set it down into place. The next step is to install the mounting brackets. You're going to have a left and a right bracket. So this one here, this is the left bracket. And all you're looking for is that it matches both of the mounting holes in that gusset and matches the angle of the windshield in the front. So once you set that into place, what you're going to do is take one of the longer M6 bolts. You're going to install a washer onto that, then go through both of the holes in the gusset, through the bracket, and then you've got the acorn nut on the back side. And then to mount the windshield to the bracket, you're going to use your M8 bolts, and then you have the flange nuts on the back side. And we're just leaving this hardware loose until we have everything installed. Now for this bottom mount, we're going to use the P-clamp, and this flat side is going to be sitting against the windshield. Then I'm going to take one of the M6 by 16mm button head bolts. I've got a washer on there. We'll go through the windshield, through both of the holes in the P-clamp, and then we've got that nylock nut on the inside. And then we're just going to do those same steps on the other side. Now we can adjust the windshield for optimal fit and then tighten down all of the hardware. After you tighten down your windshield, we'll go back through and reinstall the clamps back into the roof. So that's it for installing the Tusk UTV full glass windshield on your Yamaha RMAX. If you have any questions about the install process, leave those down in the comments below. And if you need to pick one of these up, they're available on our website. Just click the link in the description. We offer free shipping on orders over $75. And if you like this video and want to see more like it for your RMAX, make sure you subscribe to our channel. I'm Charles with Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Thanks for watching.